Hey, what's up, guys? Today's video is going to be a highlights of Update 6.2, going over the most important things that happen in Update 6.2. If it is December 1st for you guys, the patch notes are out, but unfortunately, I live in a time zone where the patch notes come out in some ridiculous time in the morning, so I can't really make a video about the patch notes right now, unfortunately. So what's going to happen is today's video is going to be the highlights of 6.2, and tomorrow's video is going to be a mini recap of the highlights, followed by in-depth dive into the actual patch notes themselves. And the reason I'm doing that is essentially to avoid making the same video twice. I don't really want to do that. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and definitely turn notifications on for tomorrow's, which will be December 2nd's, in-depth patch note overview, which I know a lot of you look forward to. So the first things I want to mention about Update 6.2, which DICE has mentioned actually that Update 6.2 is going to be coming out next week, and of course, like I just said, the patch notes came out today if you're watching this on December 1st, the day that it uploaded. So the weapon nerfs, the VHX D3, which is the new AR, and the G428, which is the new DMR, are both getting nerfed in Update 6.2. The VHX D3, its accuracy is going to be decreased, as well as its spread is going to be increased, so sort of a double accuracy nerf to that weapon. It should hit it pretty hard, considering its rate of fire. And for the G428, they are reducing the standard issue ammunition to hit kill range from 40 to 20 meters, so a gigantic nerf to that weapon. Now the M39 EMR and the SVD are the best DMRs in the game, and the G428 is sort of relegated to this strange close quarter DMR category, which is very strange in my opinion. On top of the massive 2-hit kill range reduction for the G428, they're adding a brand new 4-hit kill range over 125 meters, further solidifying the G428's CQC use case scenario, and on top of all of that, they're changing its recoil and accuracy. So G428 and VHX, big nerfs, no surprise there. It's no surprise to anyone that when they add new weapons, they're overpowered because, I mean, listen, this is what game developers do nowadays. They want people to check out the new season, so when they add new weapons in the new season, they make sure they're overpowered, and then they nerf them later. Everyone knows you're doing this. This happens in Call of Duty, Battlefield, really any game that I can think of. Moving on to some suppressor changes coming in Update 6.2. As many of you have pointed out, you haven't been using suppressors after their recent nerf, and I believe Update 6.0 or 6.1, I don't know, these updates are getting confusing. Anyway, they gutted suppressors a long time ago and basically forced you to use subsonic ammunition, and it just wasn't worth it. So they're trying to remedy their mistake by sort of tweaking the ranges you can be seen on the minimap. The changes are a bit confusing to understand, but I will explain them to you like this. If you are using a light suppressor without subsonic ammunition, if you shoot your weapon, people can see you on the minimap out to 30 meters and below. If you're using a light suppressor with subsonic ammunition, people can see you shooting on the minimap from 15 meters and below. If you are using a heavy suppressor with no subsonic ammunition, people can see you shooting on the minimap from 15 meters and below. If you're using a heavy suppressor with subsonic ammunition, you are completely off the minimap when you shoot regardless of range. Now, I hope I explained that just fine. Comment down below if you understood what I was trying to say. Believe it or not, this is actually better than it is now, but I still don't quite understand why they're going after suppressors this late into the game. Why are you trying to force people to use the inferior ammo type to make a weapon attachment viable? You essentially are forcing people to equip 2 weapon attachments just to not appear on the minimap, when you're just going to be spotted by tugs, Casper drones, Q-Spot anyway. So I'm not really understanding why they're punishing the use of suppressors so hard. Some more very important highlights that are coming in Update 6.2 include the black screen during the end of round bug that I know has been plaguing the game for a while. They plan on fixing that. They also plan on addressing hit registration issues that they claim are because of defensive gadgets. So on Redacted, they claim that if there's a bunch of APS in an area, it really, really hurts the hit reg, but that doesn't explain why the hit registration is terrible on wide open maps as well sometimes. So I'm not really sure if they're going to address here, but let's just hope they don't further break hit registration. On top of this, they're going to try to address out-of-bounds combat on Redacted, meaning they're going to try to prevent people from getting under the map, above the map, outside of the walls, using spawn beacons on Redacted. This has been spreading everywhere. More and more people are doing it. Although, I have to say, it's not really that effective. It's just sort of annoying, because people are in places where they shouldn't be. Before I move on to the last thing I'm going to mention, before I move on to some vehicle changes, if you are enjoying the content, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders. Be sure to drop my Twitch channel a follow, first link in the description. And as far as YouTube streams go, I've got a couple questions regarding that. YouTube streaming on a single PC setup, as well as streaming on Twitch, I don't really think it's possible. I'm trying to work around the problems. I might set up a YouTube-only stream here in a couple days, so turn notifications on for that, definitely. And thank you to everyone that comes by the streams. I see a lot of people, oh, I'm from YouTube. I'm like, oh, what's up? So moving on to a big problem with 2042 that I really hope they fix, the matchmaking problem with AI soldiers. As it stands right now, when you load into a game of Battlefield 2042, it just seems like the matchmaking absolutely refuses to put you in a full lobby of players. And this is an awful issue because say you're in a full game. If people leave the game, right, say one team is getting their ass kicked and a couple squads decide to leave, the game does not matchmake new players in. It just replaces them with AI. So what ends up happening is one team just gets stronger and stronger while the other team gets weaker and weaker, that eventually you're just playing against only AI because the game is not matchmaking new people to fill the people that left. So this is a massive problem. I genuinely hope they fix it in Update 6.2 because it really has been destroying a lot of people's enjoyability of the game. And the last few things I will cover are regarding vehicles in this video. In a recent dev note, there was actually a Q&A section where the developers answered commonly asked questions. One of the questions was, why do we have weapons coming over from Battlefield Portal, but not vehicles? And DICE made it very clear that it isn't as simple as copy-pasting a, let's say, an M1 Abrams from Battlefield 3 into the base game of Battlefield 2042. Apparently, there's a ton of weird sort of terrain mapping issues, and they have to rework all the vehicles in order to put them in the base game of Battlefield 2042. So if you're sad that you're not flying a FA Super Hornet in 2042, now I guess you know why. Some more highlights in the vehicle change category is, of course, the Nightbird is getting some mobility nerfs in Update 6.2, and a lot of people are happy about that. They are aligning the vehicle crosshairs on all vehicle cameras that are available on air vehicles, making it a, quote, reliable impact point, and making the impact point as defined by the distance on average on both of the weapons. TLDR, it's going to be easier to use the crosshairs on air vehicles. I don't know why they made it that complicated, but that's what that is going to do. And the last thing I will mention in relation to air vehicles is air vehicles will be receiving better directional HUD indicators. So, for instance, if you don't know what this means, if you played Battlefield 4 and you flew the attack helicopter and you flew with a gunner, you would know at 6 o'clock on your screen there was a box that showed you where the gunner was aiming. This is now going to be in Battlefield 2042. So as a gunner, it should now help you orient yourself with where your pilot is pointing you, and as a pilot, it should help you understand where your gunner is hoping to aim. So these are the highlights of Update 6.2. Again, the patch notes video will be tomorrow, December 2nd. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, follow my Twitch stream. I stream every single day. Be sure to say hello if you drop by. I will definitely be streaming on YouTube here as well pretty soon. I'm sorry, it's been over a month since I put out that community post where I said, oh, I'm going to try to troubleshoot this and try to stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Turns out it's more complex on my setup than I thought it would be. You kind of need a dual PC setup to do it. So next year, I'm hoping on upgrading my system, and I think the stream is going to change a lot in the next year because I'm going to have a lot more power at my disposal. I'm going to have a totally different setup, and I think it's generally things are going to get a lot better. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope you guys are as well. So pop by the streams, turn notifications on, be sure to sub to the channel, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Be sure to let me know your thoughts below.